Good evening, colleagues and tutor. For me, this is a honor and pleasure to present my English project. Universidad Pedagógica Nacional, Unidad Ajusco, Project Skill Development Reading, Listening, Writing, and Speaking Text Types. The student's name, Efraín Luis Hernández, tutor, Rudolf Pontegoski. Mexico, June 13, 2022. Introduction. Semester goal. At the end of the fifth semester, the student will use the elements of language to express activities they are doing now in the past and to share or request personal information from other people with simple phrases and tasks that require a simple and direct exchange of information of their environment and immediate needs. Everything based on B1 label descriptor of the common European framework of reference for languages. In addition, they will continue practicing the language skills to achieve an efficient interaction with the students and to promote the collaborative work with others. Objective. In Unit 3 of this same semester, the topic types of text correspond. This topic was chosen because it is derived from the subject that the students takes in the first semester and that correspond to the subject on oral and written expression. Having an idea and experience of what the texts are in Spanish is incorporated in the aforementioned semester, only now it will be in English. The fifth semester is made up of 2 units. In the third unit, the text types are incorporated according to the English program indicated. For this reason, it was of my interest. This topic is very interesting for the acquisition of language through interculturality. As you can see, we have the 3 units. In the third unit, the students will learn about types of text. The specific one, descriptive text. A structure of the lesson. Intercultural communication is vital for every human being because all the people around him need to communicate with each other, regardless in their culture, since a content of the cultural communicative competency is specific in the culture and varies from one culture to another. Applying the fifth classroom strategy, the students investigate what is the day of the dead and Thanksgiving Day, our day of customs and family traditions. To make the introduction of the topic and text types, the class begins by doing a warm-up. On this topic, it begins with a key vocabulary. Above text set vocabulary is extracted from 2 videos that the student watched before. The following activity corresponds to the reading of these 2 types of text through online activity. Continue with activity. Speaking skill as well as the listening skill are fundamental for this type of acquisition. In the part of the students' bear reproduction in pairs, and the importance of the Day of the Dead in Mexico and the Thanksgiving Day in the US. The students continue practicing speaking exercises and live worksheets. For the writing skills, they will use past and present tenses like was, and like other skills, they will use the live worksheet platform to continue practices using examples of discuss markers and connectors. For the students' ability to listen and continue with the use of the technology, the students will listen and dictation exercise and write in, as well as these activities for the acquisition of the L2 have been planned according to the common European framework of reference. The structure of the lesson continues. The most general sensors of work apprendage is the ability to observe and participate in new experiences and to incorporate new knowledge into existing knowledge, modifying the latter when necessary. Language learning skills are developed in the course of learning experiences. Beyond 2002, continue with the structure of the lesson. The student asks a question and the role play will be applying working in pairs with their classmate, giving information about the celebration of the day in the dead and the Thanksgiving. Why is student reproduction practice important? Well, it is the same. It allows them to choose which topic they want to learn next. This is considered very beneficial because the time intelligent and challenge help students to stretch their knowledge and apply without help of their teacher. What is this learning important for the students and helps them feel more confident about the subject? The use of interactive activities play a very important role in the acquisition of the target language. Now that the high school students are digital natives, it helps them. It is attractive, it is aroused their interest, and it is dynamic. The following activities complete the learning of the students and the ones that learn how to follow up, always with the teacher guidance. The assessment methods currently being used included the students' interview, followed by the student papers and presentation, the students' portfolios, observation of the students by others, host cultures, processor evaluation in courses, and pre-text and post-text. As mentioned above, there is a continuous evaluation of the strategy that can be applied of these topics, giving feedback of those weaknesses and strengthening of the knowledge of the students. Activities such as puzzle, as games, online graphic organizer, listening and speaking activities. Each activity designed as a medium as presented in the 4 skills. The structure of the lesson continuum. A term of Michael Biran refers to a language learner who is able to interact with others in a way that is accepting of the different perspective of perception of the world, mediate between different perspectives, while also exhibiting the ability to be conscious of the evaluation and differences of set perspectives. Like the previous explanation above, it is important that the student commits to the practice of reading, writing, online work, and follow-up activities. Students' outcomes. To verify the learning process, several tools were designed to verify what's acquiring writing activities, speaking activities, the activity using online and electronic resources. Reflection. The students have learned from their personal family experiences, from their context, from their way of living with others, and from the connectivity between one another, from their classmates exchanging their ideas, from their class teacher, because they have been able to guide in this process of acquiring the target language of its customs that are in the roots, and they cannot learn a language without first knowing their mother tongue. Evaluation. The following aspects and activities to be able to evaluate the students in their performance will be used virtually and face-to-face, according to the needs that arise in the classroom, taking into account the learning styles of the students, without losing sight of the fact that it is important to use technology as it has been done in recent years derived from the global contingency. The live worksheet platform was used with activities that the teacher himself created and designed for this evaluation, such as a Venn diagram, bombs, discourse markers, and games evaluation, were also generated through the classroom. Evaluation. This is a student evaluation report correspond to the 3rd unit. A student sending certification. This is a honor when the student receives the sending certification. Right here in this is the evidence with the students receiving the sending certification, and the authorities from my school and authorities from Delegación Oaxaca, CEP. Reflection what I have learned. I have learned in this specialization from theoretical foundation what approach students should learn about this specialization that I have learned from virtual resources, from my colleagues working during this specialization in collaborative works with them. And I have learned a lot from this specialization in my learning process. Reflection and the challenges. 2021, I started specialization. Continue with the 2021 and apply everything I have learned. Continue with the same year. Finish the module 1 from EEAILE. 2022, start the module 2, 2022, to know how good all the knowledge I have learning in this specialization has been. Continue with the same year, continue applying it for the following semester in my school. Continue with the same year. Right now we are in the colloquium, and I hope you to finish this specialization very soon. Finally, we have the bibliography that I use of the references that I use during this specialization process. This is my presentation. Thanks a lot, tutor and colleagues, for your attention. Thank you so much.